Now to the latest on the war in Ukraine, and Russian forces took aim at a northeast region today with deadly consequences. The strike hit a village near the border. Ukrainian officials believe the missiles came from inside Russia. A market took the full force, the dead and wounded either women or young girls. The attack flies in the face again of Russian denials its forces don't target civilians. The CBC's Briar Stewart has more from London.
A market 80 kilometers southeast of Kharkiv is the latest site of a Russian missile attack. At least 2 women were killed, 4 were injured, including a 10-year-old girl. Now, images from the scene, you can see the scale of the destruction. There are a number of small market stalls that have been torn apart by the blast and by the explosion. And this was the latest attack today, but it was the strategic city of Kramatorsk that was hit a number of times over the weekend, early Sunday morning, in fact. And officials with Russia's Ministry of Defense say that they were targeting a dormitory where Ukrainian soldiers were staying. They said that 2 dormitories were hit and that 600 soldiers were killed. But the facts on the ground in Ukraine tell a much different story. Reporters who have visited the scene have found that the dormitories, which were said to be decimated, are very much intact, and that there are large craters where the strikes hit, but they're on the ground. They said there's no sign that anybody had been killed or even hurt, and that's what Ukraine says. Ukraine says they did not lose any soldiers in Kramatorsk. And so you have the Russian Defense Ministry trying to push this narrative about all of these deaths, and they're really trying to sell it as retribution for an attack that happened on New Year's on their soldiers in the community of Makivka. In that attack, at least 89 Russian soldiers were killed, and I say at least because that's the number that Russia has confirmed. Well, Ukraine says that the true death toll is actually much higher, in the hundreds. And so Russia has been trying to say what they did in Kramatorsk was payback and that they successfully killed 600 soldiers. But that version really contradicts what Ukraine and reporters are saying on the ground. Today, the Kremlin was asked about the discrepancy, and all that Kremlin officials would say is that they have full confidence in the information they're getting from the Ministry of Defense. Briar Stewart, CBC News, London.